Welcome back to the neighborhood, boys and girls. Our first guest tonight is Chris Lang from Keller Williams. Welcome to the neighborhood, Chris.
Thank you very much.
We've been talking a little bit here off camera, and you just brought something up, so I'm going to get started right away. You haven't been in this business long. Tell us a little bit about your previous to real estate journey and how you got here to this point.
It's been a crazy road. I got out of the Marines. I was telling Jim I got out of the Marines, and one of the first jobs I got was working as a collector for PHH Mortgage, which I believe they still exist as a servicer, but I don't think they're doing mortgages anymore. And then it turned into Sendent. But at the time, they were like, you can talk on the phone. And I was like, yeah, I'm doing collections. They were like, grab your headset. You're going to a 2-week training class. We're going to teach you some mortgage LTVs, what's an ARM, And from there, just got on the floor, no real instruction. I don't even think I had a real cubicle. I just had like it was just a wall with a bench. And they were just like, pick up the phone and start calling people, doing refinances and everything. And that was good for a few years, had some success, and then the market dropped out, and I actually got in the loss mitigation while I was going to college at Rowan. And I got an accounting degree from Rowan, and I started doing accounting for 2 years, and I was taking the CPA exam. I passed 2 of the 4 parts, and by then I was like, I hate doing this. I realized I had a personality, and I couldn't work in the accounting world. So I went back into loss mitigation. I used to do loan modifications, things like that, short sales. And then I actually managed the REO portfolio for Radian Guarantee, the mortgage insurance company. It was a pretty cool job. I was there for a good amount of time. I had a brief stint at Fannie Mae. So I've always been around real estate, but I remember as an REO manager, I was looking at all the commissions I was paying the realtors, and I was like, I should get my real estate license and make a few dollars. So I did the 10-week course at Weichert Real Estate School in Turnersville. I went every Saturday, and then finally, I took the test, passed, and sold a few homes the first year. That was nice because I was still working my full-time job. Took the kids, on a nice vacation. Did it again the second year, and then I went through some life changes. I was like, you know what, I'm going to jump into this full-time, and last year was a great year, and I'm just going to try to continue to build on that success.
And you said last year was your first full year, correct?
Yeah, first full year. Yeah, full time every day. So it's been a wild ride.
Yeah, it's funny. You were talking about the accounting thing. I took a bunch of accounting classes, and half the people in all my accounting classes that were majoring that halfway through were like, I can't do this. I hate this. And now when I hear somebody say, I'm an accountant, I think to myself, man, you must be a boring dude, man. You must be someone who just looks at numbers and is like, yes, I made them equal out on both sides. And I sucked at it.
I will let you know, I found when I was at Rowan, most of the people that were in the accounting field were dropouts from the engineering world. So I don't know if that's a coincidence or not. It's like, all right, I couldn't figure out the numbers in engineering, and I dropped into accounting. So
I never was good at it because you had to make them match perfectly, and I'm the kind of guy who's like, it's within like $20.
Yeah.
The debits don't have to match the credits. And my account teacher's like, they have to be exact. It has to zero out. I'm like, well, just put $15 in the account, make it zero out.
Right, even it out.
Crazy. So, do you have a favorite transaction that you've done? Like when you think in your heart, like I remember the one time at the closing table when a family like broke down in tears. Or have you had like a favorite transaction so far?
I've had a few that break down in tears. I've been on both sides where the buyers basically were happy first time they ever bought something, and they just felt like that feeling, I also had people too when I was on the listing side, and I'm sitting there going, wow, they were really, stirred up, crying, and it's a real great feeling. This job does, fortunately, gets people to, what their goals are. A lot of times they, I'll give you an example. I just had dinner with a couple. We sold their home in Woolwich. I've been following up with the wife for basically over a year, just giving her a call, hey, just checking in. I knew you guys still said you were looking to sell. Both the kids were off of college, and one of them just graduated. And then finally, I called one day, and the husband answered her phone, and he said, he goes, you know what, just come out to the house. So I come out to the house like the next day, we set up a meeting, and we sell the house. He does really well. I connected them with a place in Delaware where they're living. Then from there, they've been down to North Carolina to basically build their next home.
Right.
So they built a lot. They bought a lot. I connected with an agent down there in North Carolina, Keller Williams agent. They bought a lot down there. They're going to build the house of their dreams down there, for their retirement.
Sure.
Down in North Carolina. And I just had dinner with them. I think it was last week. And that's the kind of, we went from strangers over the phone
You're like
in
part
a
of the
cold
family
call
now.
to now it's like, in fact, they've actually referred me a few people as well, which, just really is heartfelt, just to think that people say, you did such a great job with me, I'm going to trust you with other people.
Yeah, that's the ultimate compliment. Like, I love a really great Google review, or I love a really great review or whatever. But really, honestly, the true test of if I did a good job is if you say, hey, my cousin's looking to get him more, like that's the real compliment that you get.
Absolutely. And like I said, I had dinner with these people. They're down in Delaware over in Wilmington area. We had dinner, some drinks, we had a good time, and we went from, like, once again, complete strangers, never even seen each other before, to just having me in their house, trusting me to take care of everything, and then, here we are months later.
Nice.
Having a drink, having a laugh. I got a bottle of bourbon. That was nice.
Always good.
Had a little of that last night.
Do you find that you have like a target customer? Do you find yourself constantly doing first-time home buyers or constantly doing luxury homes? Do you have somebody you're like, that's my person, or are you just kind of jack of all trades, I'll take whatever comes my way?
I'll always take whatever comes my way. I mean, I've sold everything just this year alone, just from lots of land to rural properties. But I would say probably my bread and butter is listing, neighborhood homes.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Just in the nice subdivisions. I've been fortunate enough where most of the people I've come in contact with have had, they lived in really nice, solid neighborhoods that people are drawn to.
Right.
And, and then I help them figure out what their goal is, whether it's staying here in New Jersey. There's another family that I helped, they had a townhome, but they wanted to be really in one neighborhood in particular. And we got a lot of offers shot down this year, which I'm sure a lot of agents had happened to them. But then we had one that kind of fell apart, their deal fell apart, and we swooped in and got it right in time. And we did a lot of things that are gonna happen. We bought the home as is. So FHA said there's a bunch of plate covers in the basement that needed to be covered. So I went over there, and me and the owner, we put all the plate covers in. And of course, I didn't think it was gonna be that many, so I went to Lowe's. I had to buy like 40 of them, and the only thing I had in my car is a screwdriver, so here I am screwing them in.
Hand screwing them in.
But you know what? Sometimes you got to do those type of things, and I think there are definitely things the families or your clients will always remember, all the little things that you went through to get the deal done.
Sure. Now, being a former Marine, have you had the opportunity to do any VA loans? Have you had that? I have found, especially recently, that sellers are a lot less likely to accept a VA offer. So I haven't had the opportunity to do as many VA loans as I would like to. Have you had the chance to do any of them?
I actually had the buyer for one of my good friends and also a realtor's home, and we put in a very competitive offer. We guaranteed, they did have some cash available to guarantee the sale price, and it was accepted. And 100% disabled client, and being a veteran, talking to him, he was in some of the recent wars. This guy is not the type of guy you think would well up, but he was a big, strong guy, and I could tell that moment when, especially the walk through, him and his family kind of walking around the yard. This is a very beautiful home. And I could feel it, like there was a sense of, hey, I can't even believe this is happening to me. Yeah. So, and it's a good feeling, anytime anyone's, once again, you're helping them accomplish their goal. Sure. And it's a feel-good moment for them,
You like it.
It's always good.
All right, let's go fast forward 2 years from now, we're going June of 2024. Where's Chris Lang? What are some of your goals and some of your bullet points you're looking to check off between now and then?
Listen, I'm always looking to increase my business, so that's always a big thing. But family, my kids are getting a little older, so one of the things that drew me to this job was the flexibility. I do see my kids more than ever. My old job, when I used to take the train back and forth to Philadelphia, you know, by the time I got home, it was 6:30 at night, and I hadn't seen them. But you know, my kids, I actually feel now that they're close to being, one's a teenager, one's not yet, soon to be. She acts like one. I like the fact that sometimes I'm like, hey, I gotta go do a couple showings. You can either come with me and just take the ride or whatever. And sometimes they really will. And I have a few clients where I actually feel like we've hit it off, especially when they have like littler kids. I'll bring my daughter with me, and you know,
makes you look more human. You know what I mean?
Well, not only that, she'll kind of take the kids around and keep an eye. This way, the adults can go through the house and actually enjoy it. Because I'm sure any realtor out there that's been on some appointments with younger kids, you never know what's going to happen. Yeah,
that's crazy.
In fact, I always get a kick out of going to a house that has younger kids. And then my clients have younger kids with us, and the kids immediately are drawn to the other kids' toys, and you're like, you know.
This could go either way here. We could be breaking things up in a minute, or it could be happy
party
time.
Crying, you know, we don't know how it's going to go.
Right. Cool. Okay, last question, personal question. If you could have any musical group or artist come to your house and play 2 songs for you, who would the group or artist be, and what would the 2 songs be?
Wow. I'm going to have to go with Ozzy.
Okay.
I love Ozzy.
Awesome. That is a great answer.
I probably got to go 2 songs. I got to go Always Crazy Train.
Crazy Train.
And maybe we'll have to go Mr. Crowley.
Guest appearance by Randy Rhoads.
Maybe he's like a hologram, you know, or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah, you gotta go with Ozzy.
And then Mr. Crowley. That is an awesome answer.
I listened to Sirius XM, and they got the Ozzy's Boneyard channel, so that's on.
I don't look like it at this moment, but I am absolutely a former long hair metalhead. Metallica, Ozzy. I saw Metallica and Ozzy Osbourne in 1987 at the Spectrum. That was great. So that is an awesome answer. That was a great answer. Chris, thanks for coming by.
I appreciate it. It's been a fun time.
We'll be right back with the next guest. I was on this side of it. I'm not on that side of it. Welcome to the neighborhood, boys and girls. Our next guest is Kristen Fernandez from Garden Realty. Kristen, welcome to the neighborhood.
Thank you for having me.
Now, we do all different types of realtors here on the show. People that have been doing it for 20 years or people that have been doing it for 20 minutes. Okay. So we know you're a little newer
I am new,
to the business here, about a year in. Mm-hmm. So give us a little bit of history, like kind of who Kristen was before she became a realtor and how you got into the business.
Okay, well for the last 4 years I've been a stay-at-home mom and running a daycare in my house.
Nice. How many kids?
I have 4 kids myself, and then I had a handful of babysitting kids. Not to say exactly how many.
No, we're not saying that.
But yes,
nobody's listening from.
I had a handful.
Okay.
It allowed me to stay home with my kids, which was nice. We're a blended family, so I had 2 stepkids. They're twins. Mm-hmm. And when we got married, they were in pre-K half days, so I was able to bring them to school, get them home, and spend time with them. And it was important for us to have that bonding time. But then COVID hit, and the schools closed, and then the babysitting kids needed to do school at my house.
Yes.
So I had a dining room and a full kitchen full of kids on laptops doing schoolwork, and then a couple toddlers in the living room. So it burned me out, and I was like, I need a change. So for a while, I was contemplating what to do. Mm-hmm. I never said anything to my husband because he's kind of like, as soon as I say something to him, he's like, all right, let's go, let's do it. Right. So I was trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. And then my husband brought up the idea of doing a fix and flip. Okay. So I was like, okay, well, if we're going to do this, then why don't I get my real estate license? Because this was kind of something that I was thinking about. So that's basically how that happened. I signed up like a week later, took the classes, passed and signed with Garden before I even took my state test,
Nice.
and just hit the ground running. So.
And how do you like it so far? Like, is it
I love it.
okay?
I love it. I mean, the highs outweigh the lows. And
for sure.
You just gotta keep going when you hit the lows and know that it gets better.
If you have 14 kids at your house, there cannot be more lows than 14 kids at the house.
Exactly. I mean, I'm very good at multitasking, and my negotiating skills are on point.
Nice.
From dealing with all the kids, so it definitely helped me prepare for real estate. So I love it, and
Nice.
I can't wait to keep going.
Now, how have you had like a favorite client yet, or favorite person that you're dealing with? Or?
I have, all my clients are my favorite,
Okay.
honestly. I haven't had any bad clients.
Okay.
I've had some crazy hoops we've had to jump through to get the job done, but we did it, and it was crazy at the time, but at the end, seeing them happy in the house they wanted made it worth it.
Any tears at the closing table yet?
No.
Not from
I mean,
you, but
not
from
for
the
me.
buyer?
I mean, yeah, there's been some.
Yeah.
It's always good to see a young couple with little kids get into a house
Sure.
that have been in like an apartment, living in a
Right.
1-bedroom apartment with 2 kids.
So
You know, this was their goal, and I was happy to help them achieve
Right.
it. So.
Nice, nice. And you did a little bit, you told us a little bit about what you do in your free time. What do you do to keep your edge, fill your spirit, keep yourself smiling when no one's looking?
I play sports.
You play sports?
Softball. I'm
Okay.
on a women's softball team, and I am on a women's dragon boat race paddle team.
That's like stand-up surfboard thing?
No, that's where 20 women are in the boat and we're paddling,
Oh,
racing, dragon boat
okay.
racing. So,
All right.
this year was the first year of me doing that, so I got to meet 99 girls
Okay.
within Gloucester County that I never met before, somewhere in my neighborhood.
Where do you do that in this area? Like, where do you actually go?
We raced on at Boathouse Row over in
Okay,
Philly.
sure.
We have a race coming up July 30th at Cooper River.
Okay.
And my team, the Gloucester County Vixens, we raise money for Bianca's Children's.
Okay.
So
What's Bianca's Children?
it's a charity that helps families, children's, single moms, stuff like
Okay.
that.
Awesome. Awesome. So let's go to 2024.
Okay.
2 years from now.
Okay.
Where is Kristen Fernandez in business, and what are a couple goals, a couple boxes you're going to check off between now and then?
I mean, I'm officially done babysitting at the end of August, and I plan to hit the ground running.
Okay.
My goal is to make enough money that my husband can stop his job and he can get his real estate license, and we
Okay.
can do this as a team.
All right.
So I just want to be able to give my kids everything that they need, and just enjoy life.
Nice. What does your husband do for that?
He is a manager at Sylvie. It's a concrete
Okay.
plant in Mount Holly.
Gotcha. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Sports or music?
Sports.
Sports. All right. So tomorrow you wake up and a magic genie comes to you and says you can go and watch any sporting event.
See, I gotta stop you there though. I don't want
Okay,
to
look
watch
at
sports.
music.
I want to play sports.
Okay.
I don't like watching.
All right. Hold on.
I couldn't even tell you what I want
I'm
to
gonna
watch.
read.
Okay.
So a magic genie comes and tells you that you can play in any sporting event that's happened throughout history. You got anyone that you would want to play in? No one played with Jenny Finch. What was her name? The blonde-headed softball
I can't
pitcher that
see.
was
I
awesome.
never really watched softball.
You never watched? You
I
just
played
played
it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
boring to watch. I'm competitive. I need to
Yeah.
be doing it.
All right, let's go music then.
All right.
So the same genie comes by tomorrow and says you can have any musician or any group come to your house and play 2 songs. What would the 2 songs be, and what would the band be?
Okay, this is gonna sound really corny though.
No, it's okay.
So when me and my husband got married, he
Okay.
sung to me at our wedding.
Okay.
To me, that's like the most romantic thing ever. My dad sung to my mom at their wedding, and it's always meant something to me.
For sure.
So he
You wouldn't want to hear me sing at the wedding, but if your husband could pull it off, that's a good deal.
Yes.
Yes.
So he sang James Arthur, Don't Let Go.
Okay.
And I would love to see James Arthur sing that song and Falling Like the Stars. He's my
Nice.
favorite singer right
That's
now.
awesome. That was not corny.
Okay.
That was not corny. That was awesome.
All right.
All right, Kristen, thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
coming
much
in.
for having me.
We'll be right back with the next guest on Mr. Mortgage's Neighborhood.
Ready.
Welcome back to the neighborhood. Our next guest is Susie Santos. Susie, welcome to the neighborhood
Thanks
here.
for having me.
Keller Williams, North Philly?
Northeast.
Philly? All right. So tell everybody a little bit about how you got into the business and what you did before your realtor life.
So before my real estate life, I waitressed
Okay.
for about 9 years, and then I worked at the casino for about 9 years. And I bought my first place. It was in 2016. So that kind of led me into real estate. I bought a duplex,
Okay.
and I had no idea what I was doing. The agent I had, I was her first deal, and her last deal she decided not to do it anymore. But
You were that terrible of a client?
no, I
Oh,
don't think. I
okay.
hope not. I love her to this day.
You scared her away.
She's so supportive. She loves all my stuff. She always tells me she's so proud of me because I told her like I always wanted to do it, but I never really like went for it.
Mhm.
And then after that, like I realized, like I'm a landlord. Like now I have all these questions, and I don't know what I'm doing. So I just kind of spoke to different people, and being at the casino kind of helped me because you run into all different kinds
Sure,
of people.
sure.
People you work with, people that play. So I would just pick their brains and ask questions, and
Mhm.
a lot of people helped me like copy off their leases because I didn't know anything that I was doing. They told
Right.
me how to basically get licensed as a landlord in the state of Philly or state of PA. So I had to go and do all that, and
Okay.
it was a mess, but I figured it out.
That's
and
a
then
whole
I was,
lot of work.
yeah, I was like, why isn't everybody doing this? And I can help other people, and it just honestly it made my life easier, and just collecting like the passive income, and I don't know, I fell in love, and I was like, everyone needs to do this, and it just came naturally for me. So after 2000, when did COVID happen?
2020.
2020.
Yep.
So I got licensed in 2019, and then COVID happened, and I got so busy. My job at the casino, I was furloughed, and then everything just took off. So when they opened back up, I couldn't go back. I
Right.
was so busy. I was like, I can't come back. Like, I have
Making
12
too much money doing
people
real
under
estate.
contract.
Yeah,
I can't just
yeah.
walk away from that. So I just stuck with it.
Nice.
And it was just, it's amazing. It's
Nice.
life-changing.
Nice. Have you gotten any other rental properties, or you still have just
I'm
your
working on my
duplex?
second.
Okay. All
Working
right.
on it. It's a
How do
tough
you-
market.
How do you like being a landlord?
It's easy peasy for me.
Really?
I've lucked out. Somebody told me like never rent to like your friends. I ended up renting out my upstairs unit to people that I worked with at the casino,
Mhm.
and I've had like a couple changes since then, but still the casino people, and they've been great, and they're respectful, and you know.
I hated it.
I'm also pretty easy, like.
I'm too easy. That's why I'm not a good landlord.
Well, the
People are
thing
like,
is,
oh, my son, he broke his arm. I can't pay rent. I was like, oh, don't worry about it. You catch up
no,
next
not
week.
that easy.
Oh yeah, no, don't worry. I know. Your car broke down, transmission, and then you got. I had 10
Not
properties.
that way. Like with the money side, I'm pretty strict.
You're a little mean.
Yeah, I can be.
Yeah.
But on the side of like if they have a party, I can.
You're all right with that.
I sleep through it. I'm
Yeah.
like a rock.
Right,
Like you
right.
can't wake me up.
But the first better have them all
Oh
along,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
1000%.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're past your grace period. Like
Mhm.
cough it up.
Let's go, let's go. Nice, nice. So, can you think of your favorite client? Like, is there one person that you've had that you worked with where you like think back, you're like, man, I'm so glad I got to help them, or that was such an awesome close.
That's tough. I mean, I love all my clients because my clients are mainly like just people I know, or if
Mhm.
I get a referral, I just end up loving them. I would say my first deal was
Okay.
probably my favorite because I was so proud of myself
Right.
that I like sat in my car afterwards and I just cried, and like I forgot to go get my check. Like I
You
forgot
left
I got
without it?
paid
Yeah.
for it, and I'm like, oh,
This
I
is
get
so
paid.
awesome.
Yeah, and it was
Oh,
just
they paid me.
emotional because it was just something I really enjoyed, and she was like a really good friend, and she was a single mom, and she had 2 young boys, and I was just
That's
like,
the best.
it was important for me.
That's the best.
So yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, this means a lot.
Yeah. Is that normally your go-to? Is the first-time buyers kind of thing, or are you tied in with investors? What's your normal client like?
I would say I get a lot of couples.
Mm-hmm.
Usually after they close, they tell me that they're pregnant. I'm like a jinx, I like to say. And now I started warning people about
Right,
it, so
right.
it started to simmer down. But no, I get a lot of couples. I do get some single moms, single dads even.
Right.
It's kind of all over the place. I just recently connected with an investor, so that's a fun little
Okay.
opportunity I'm looking forward to exploring more. So
Nice.
maybe some wholesaling.
Nice. And are you in any networking groups, anything like that? Any investor groups, any real estate groups, either in person or on Facebook or anything like that?
Yeah, like I'm in like some referral groups on Facebook, so I actually just had like a closing in South Carolina. One of my client's sisters needed help, and
Okay.
then my sellers just moved to Siesta Key, so I hooked them up with an agent. So I do like referral networking on there. And then just kind of like, I just recently connected with Core Title and went to a networking event over there that they hosted. So
Sure.
that was a good time. That was
Nice.
helpful. I made a lot of connections.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, great people. Now, what do you do outside of real estate? What do you do for like your heart or your soul or your spirit? What do you do for fun? What do you do for activities? Like, not Susie the realtor,
Yeah.
like Susie the fun after 9 to 5
I'm
girl.
like,
We know you're an awesome
Yeah.
golfer, but besides that,
I wouldn't say awesome, but
you won.
the
You kicked
Angry
their butt.
Birds of golf, I
You,
would.
you are the Hank
I
Aaron
wouldn't
of
know that.
Angry Birds golfing, or the Tiger Woods of Angry Birds
Yeah,
golfing.
exactly. Like challenge me.
Mm-hmm. I
Or
like
money.
it.
Let's put money on it.
All right. Challenge
But no,
on.
I would say honestly, like I'm more of like a homebody. I love to stay home. I have a dog, so I just like to be home with her. And then really, other than that, I spend time with my niece, nephew, or my friends when I have free time, and
Nice.
just kind of focus on making those memories. And that's really all that matters to me. That's kind of why I wanted to get into the business, because it could free up my time rather than the casino. You were always working holidays, and there were things I couldn't do with my family and stuff like that. And this now I can make my own schedule and set my own boundaries, and it's been good.
It's been nice.
It's been
Cool.
worth it.
So I noticed on your Facebook profile, you were from South Jersey and you went to Philly. That's like the opposite
Yeah.
of what everyone else
I know.
does. Everybody grows up in South Philly and then comes
I
to
know.
South Jersey so they can have
Don't get me
parking
wrong, I
and
want
stuff
to
like
go
that.
back to South
Okay.
Jersey. I love Jersey. I'm like Jersey in my heart.
How did you get to Philly?
Because I was working at the casino,
Okay.
and I wanted to get the duplex, and it just made more sense to buy closer to work.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a ton over there. I like stalked out the neighborhood, and it just made sense. So I bought over there, and I always had the intent that I'm going to go back to Jersey for my next property, and I'm still working on that.
Okay. Now, are you licensed in both? You're licensed in Jersey
Yeah.
and PA, so you can
Mhm.
take clients from there. both
It
ways.
took me a long time to get used to like Philly, especially because like everybody goes by zip codes,
Yeah.
and it took me a while to understand.
It's a whole nother
It's
world
a whole
over there.
different
Yeah.
world, and I'm from Jersey. I'm
Mhm.
like, what do you mean? It's not like Blackwood, Runnymede, or Belmar. Or
No.
It's totally different. They're
Yeah.
like 19111. I'm like, what town?
Right, yeah. It's
So
all Philly.
Yeah, it took me a while. I had to kind of study it and really
Right.
get to know, what was going on. But I've really come a long way. And
Is there a neighborhood over there in Philly where you're like, man, I really like the properties over there? Like, we have an office
Nope.
in Fishtown on Frankfurt Ave that's nice, but you're just like,
No,
ah.
I'm just stuck on Jersey.
Yeah.
I just want to go. Me personally, I want to go back there. But my friends are there, my family's there, and that is most important.
All right. So that'll lead into the next question. Let's look at June of 2024, 2 years from now. Where is Susie? And give me some of the check boxes that you're going to have between now and then, some goals that you're going to achieve in the next 2 years.
All right, so I'd like my next multifamily property in Jersey.
Okay.
And then I would like to be in a position where I'm working towards whether it's a vacation house. I'm like undecided, a vacation house or maybe storage units. I hear that's really big, so I'm going to
Sure.
do some searching into that. And then, what was the other thing I wanted to look into? It was like, what was
The
it?
Airbnbs?
No, not
Nah,
a
you're not an Airbnb person?
Maybe down the line, but not.
I would way rather do Airbnbs than regular
Really?
tenant. Yeah, they pay for everything right up front. You got all your money. You don't worry about collecting anything. It's all in there. It's in your account. All you gotta do is go there, send somebody to clean it up, go back in, and you get twice as much rent for an
You're not
Airbnb as you
wrong.
do. Yeah, I don't like
You're not
tenants.
wrong. Maybe
I'm anti.
it's something to look into.
Not discriminatory. I just don't like tenants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know. We'll see.
There you go.
I'll keep
Cool.
you posted.
All right. So, sports or music? That's your next question. Which one you want?
Music.
Music, okay. So tomorrow you wake up and a genie appears in your room and says you can have one person or band come to your house and play 2 songs. Who's the band or the musician, and what are the 2 songs that they're gonna play for you?
Ooh. This is tough. Alright, so I'm gonna go with Trey songs.
Okay.
I don't care what song. Anything.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go a little country. And I'm gonna say, let's go with Luke Bryan.
Luke Bryan?
I don't care what he plays.
I know
for.
who he is.
I don't care what he plays.
You don't care who he plays?
No, just
As long as he
play
plays something.
I don't care.
He can play on mute, it doesn't matter, just as long as he's hanging out there.
Literally. It's
Yeah,
fine.
for sure.
It's totally fine.
Awesome, Susie, thanks for coming
Thanks
in.
for having me.
We'll have you on again. Thank you very much, guys. We'll be back next week.